We'll see what happens in November, through November, and see if I'm right about this. But I know when I hear God's voice. I know what God's voice sounds like to me. I know when He speaks. And I know when I have a dream that I know is Him. I saw Chinese and Russian soldiers on the ground. And Russian soldiers were telling the Chinese soldiers to go and pick up these people, round up these people, secure this quadrant, secure this area. I saw blue helmets of the UN. I saw military things taking place. I also saw no sign of President Trump. I saw no sign of leadership in Washington, D.C. I saw churches being burned. I saw homes being burned. I saw absolute chaos. And the fist punch on the November of 2020 is what got my attention. So in the dream that I'm having, I walk to the bank. I walk into the bank to get some change. And on the door it says there's no change available. I saw the sign, it registered in my mind, but I walked on in, and the president of the local bank was at the teller station, and she was going to be taking care of business. And I said, I need to get $10 in quarters for a yard sale. And she said, I'm sorry, but the U.S. Mint is no longer making currency or making change like pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, half dollars. That between September and November of this coming year. And you'll be able to check me, if by the time we get to November nothing's happened, or December 1st, man, you call me on this and say, Dana Coverstone, you're an absolute idiot and a fool for saying those things. Go right ahead. Because I realize I'm responsible for what I've spoken. But I also know what I sense, and I know the Holy Spirit's voice enough to know that what I've heard, I believe is going to happen.
So I dreamt I was in the month of October. I saw the month of October as a calendar, and it was waving like it was being blown by a strong wind, not a fitful wind, not violent, just kind of a fitful wind, And I saw a finger appear, and it pointed to the second week of October, and it dragged the finger through the third week of the month. So it covered second and third week of October. And then it pointed October 31st, and it held the position. It just kind of tapped it and held it. The first thing I saw was a rock. It came flying out of the sky, and it landed in a large pond. And the ripples started off small, but then they became like vicious waves. The money was just being lowered. It had lost its value. And it burned until there was about a third of it left. It was a celebration. People were celebrating. While some Americans were just devastated and torn up by what they saw happening, there were people celebrating that the dollar had died. It was dying, the value of the American dollar. There was someone even playing taps in the background.
That between September and November of this coming year. And you'll be able to check me, if by the time we get to November nothing's happened, or December 1st, man, you call me on this and say, Dana Coverstone, you're an absolute idiot and a fool for saying those things. Go right ahead. Because I realize I'm responsible for what I've spoken. But I also know what I sense, and I know the Holy Spirit's voice enough to know that what I've heard, I believe is going to happen. Angie just asked the question, why is someone in our live stream? I'm being threatened a lot with, well, this in the dream hasn't come true. This in the dream hasn't come true. You're a false prophet. You should shut down. The threat levels have really increased the last couple of days, last couple of weeks, actually. And once again, I never said I was a prophet. I refuse to say I'm a prophet because I don't believe I am. I believe God called me as a watchman. He gave me some dreams, and I warned people. And it had to be the sovereign hand of God that got people to watching and to listening and waking up. I believe if nothing else, a lot of people have. A lot of people have prayed. And that's really all I'm going to say about that. But I'll be I've had to block a lot of people, a lot of situations in the last couple of days, last couple of weeks. And they are getting worse as we get closer to December 1st. So I just appreciate your prayers for me in that regards.